ora, and welcome to Wednesday's Economy Watch, where we follow the economic events and trends that affect New Zealand. I'm David Chaston, and this is the international edition from interest.co.nz. And today we lead with news that oil prices eased overnight on signs of new negotiations between the US and Iran, and relief that the US sanctions weren't as advertised. They exempted Chinese banks, for example, and China said it will support Iran. But first, overnight, the Pulse dairy auction delivered higher prices from last week's full auction event, in US dollar terms at least. For example, whole milk powder was up almost 1%, but the rising New Zealand dollar turned that into a 0.7% softening. In the US, the ADP weekly private jobs update remains very low, with less than 12,000 new jobs added over the past 4 weeks. Sales of new homes in the US were also unusually low as well, with the July level the lowest for that month since 2017, apart from the pandemic 2022 drop. That puts them 6.5% lower than year-ago levels. And the Richmond Fed's factory survey came in with a positive overall outcome in August, but lower than for July and the lowest since April. Reshoring isn't a thing in the mid-Atlantic states. The growth rate of prices paid and prices received rose in the month. Meanwhile, their services survey in the region revealed slowing activity with only slight increases in prices and costs. And that is consistent with the pullback in consumer sentiment as measured by the Conference Board in the US. It is a measure that has been falling away since early 2025. And there was a less well-supported US Treasury 2-year bond sale overnight, but the yield dipped to 4.16% from the prior equivalent event a month ago of 4.27%. In Canada, they reported lower wholesale sales in July, ending a run of expansions. The decline mainly reflects lower sales of agricultural supplies and minerals and ores, otherwise little change. In the escalating trade war the US is waging on Canada, Canada has responded with its own 50% duties on American dairy products, steel, farm equipment and appliances. And copper has risen to new record highs on the uncertainty surrounding US tariff policies. It isn't the only metal trading in the stratosphere of uncertainty. Tin is another example. And Taiwan's July update of industrial production extended its outsized growth reporting, and that was matched with high growth of retail sales there too. Later today, we'll be watching the July CPI update from Australia, where a fall from the rate from June's 3.8% to 3.2% is anticipated. Meanwhile, they're dealing with some major events. First, in New South Wales, a major home builder has collapsed. The Bathler Group has failed, owing $3.6 billion Australian dollars in debt, supposedly due to soaring construction costs, which they can't recover just as they get a sharp decline in property sales. Construction activity in the firm has frozen across approximately 15,000 homes, townhomes and apartment developments currently underway. The vast majority of the $3.6 billion of debt is owed to private credit funds and non-bank lenders. There are sure to be cascading impacts. And bird flu is spreading faster now in Australia. So far, more than 300 dead bird events have been confirmed out of 27,000 reports of unexplained dead bird events. The US Treasury 10-year yield is now just on 4.64%, down 6 basis points from yesterday at this time. The 30-year yield is at 5.18%, down 5 basis points. The price of gold is now at $4,648 an ounce, up $12 from yesterday. Silver's up 50 cents at just under $69 an ounce. Oil prices are down $3 from yesterday at just on $82 a barrel in the US, while the international Brent price is now just on $88.50 a barrel and down $3.50. And the Kiwi dollar is up 20 basis points from yesterday at just over 59.7 US cents. Against the Aussie, we're up 10 basis points at 83.4 Australian cents. Against the euro, we're also up 10 basis points at 51.2 euro cents. That all means our trade-weighted index starts today at just over 63.2, up 20 basis points from yesterday. And the Bitcoin price starts today at $79,195 and up 0.4% from yesterday. Volatility of the past 24 hours has remained moderate at just on plus or minus 1.7%. You can get more news affecting the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston. We'll do this again tomorrow.